Hello, we're here at NAB 2019 and we have the opportunity to speak with Tad Brockway, who is the Corporate Vice President at Microsoft Azure for Storage, Media, and Edge.
Right.
Tad, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us.
It's great to be here, Fred.
This is a huge moment in the evolution of the broadcast industry, fraught with a lot of issues and problems as far as going from the legacy ways of doing things to IP and then the cloud.
Yeah.
And where the cloud is concerned, you guys have been putting a lot of money and effort into making it possible to use the cloud at the production level,
right?
Which is a pretty radical change. And so I guess the key question for our audience and for the producers out there is, why do they benefit? Why would it be worth their while to have a cloud-based infrastructure for their traditional production processes?
Right. Yeah, it's a great question, and and by the way, this is a phenomenon that is not unique just to M&E. All industries are dealing with the opportunities that the cloud creates in terms of just changing the way that business is done and operations, and so M&E is one industry that's impacted, and we see Microsoft having a unique role in M&E in particular. And there's some analogs to some of the work that we're doing in other industries like retail, for instance. But our role overall, especially as a cloud provider, is to provide a neutral cloud platform. That's our focus. We don't make our own content. We don't monetize content. We certainly don't monetize other people's content. And our role in this industry is to make sure that there is a neutral, safe cloud platform, so that artists and storytellers can just do their best work. So over time, what we see happening is we see that content creation and the whole process, the whole value chain from the creation of content, production, post-production, distribution, all of that is going to be radically transformed by the cloud, because what the cloud does is it opens up content creation to whole new sets of human beings that today aren't able to participate in media and entertainment. So today, content creation is largely centralized in cities like Hollywood and Vancouver and so on. In the future, in order to keep up with all the stories that need to be told, especially with the personalization of content that's happening through the internet and the web, the storytellers, they need to scale with that as well. And so we need for VFX artists, we need for even directors and producers and perhaps actors over time to be able to work from anywhere on the globe and then collaborate with other artists in other parts of the globe.
Yeah.
And the cloud can bring all that together. Microsoft is investing billions of capital in R&D, but also in servers and data centers and storage and network. Microsoft Global Infrastructure is unique. We have a principle of making sure that our data centers are exactly where our customers and partners need for them to be. So we're in 50 plus regions around the globe, and that fits very nicely with M&E in this idea of being able to bring to content creators and artists cloud infrastructure. So your question about what does this do for the producers of content, they don't have to have their own infrastructure any longer. They don't have to deal with
They can go where the talent is.
They can go where the talent is. That's a great insight.
And that's a really important thing in this global production environment.
It brings the producers to the talent, and it brings the talent, the infrastructure brings the talent into the industry in ways they wouldn't be able to do so previously.
Yeah, and then they can all collaborate.
Exactly, and then they all get to work together, and you get the network effects, the power of creativity amongst all kinds of people.
So the huge challenge in that process is to maintain the same level of production excellence and quality control and all the bells and whistles of the functionalities that go into it. Moving that into the cloud has got to be a big deal. You guys have done a deal with Avid as a partner, and of course they're well positioned to have those skill sets. Tell us a little bit about how that works.
Yeah, definitely. And our journey, we think, is the content creator's journey into cloud, and Avid is really the foundation of that partnership. So if you look at our partnership with Avid, we're partnering with the leader in terms of tooling for content creation for audio and video. And we're working in partnership with them to help transform their technology into the cloud. And as we do that, then we help our shared customers move into the cloud as well. So you take something like the Nexus product, the Nexus storage product from Avid. So 2 years ago, we started down the path of working with Avid to take Nexus, which is a high performance, high scale storage product and file system specifically for the M&E industry, and helping that as a hardware and software based product transform into pure software running on top of our cloud storage platform. So what that did for us by engaging in this joint engineering project, it allowed us to get a signal in terms of how to evolve our storage platform for this industry, and then it helped Avid evolve Nexus by having our deep engagement from an engineering standpoint to make Nexus into a cloud-capable storage platform for M&E. So this is a significant undertaking, and it really is laying the groundwork for all content to be moved into the cloud over time. And also the work with Media Composer. So at Avid Connect this weekend, Avid announced that Media Composer is available running on Azure, running in an Azure virtual machine, backed by one of our GPUs in our infrastructure. And so now customers can get going and try out Avid and try out editing in the cloud. So you can edit from an iPad, or you can edit from an editing room. It's really the same experience in either case.
Wow, and that's incredible.
Yeah. And so the opportunity really is, it's to get started by solving problems that are real, straightforward problems today, and then easing into the cloud over time. So storage is a great example of that.
Oh, and mentioning storage, I guess that is a very unique aspect of use of storage in the production vein, as opposed to the way it's used for media, distribution and all that, where you really have to have fast access to everything.
You do, yeah.
And you have to have fast search with everything.
That's right.
And so this is going to give them something on the equivalency of what would happen if that storage was locally based.
Yeah, what it does actually gives them, and this is what they announced at the show, the Nexus Cloud Spaces product. What that does is that gives customers the ability to leave their Nexus on-prem and then to tier their storage into the cloud. So even just for backup or BCDR purposes, they can have a secondary copy of their content, and they can still edit directly on Nexus on-prem. But then by also having Nexus in the cloud, and with Media Composer running in the cloud, then customers have the option of doing everything in the cloud. And they can get that performance that you're talking about. They can get that on-prem with Nexus hardware and software, or they can get that in the public cloud on our platform. It's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, that's, and maybe that'll help ease the pain for some of these people to make some of the transitions that they have to make right now. One of the big factors that is going on with the use of cloud, of course, is leveraging artificial intelligence to make everything more automated, to do things you never could do before with the help of that machine intelligence. So let's talk a little bit about how you're just using AI in general for the M&E industry, and then maybe look a little bit at how it comes into play on the production side.
Yeah, sure. So AI in video and in cloud, that's a powerful combination, and it's really going to transform the production and post-production process, as it's already transforming the personalization of content as it's being delivered out to end consumers. And we all experience that as end consumers today. On the content creation side, what AI does, and we have a product called Azure Media Services Video Indexer, and we have a bunch of new features at the show that we're announcing this week. What it does is it allows content creators to extract meta information about their video content, so it enables them to create richer content, more meaningful content to their audience, and to do that in a much more productive way. And I'll give you an example of that. So we have a customer of ours, the Endemol Shine Group, and they have a production Big Brother. You probably heard about Big Brother. They have all these cameras inside homes, and they're recording for 24 hours a day, and all of that content has to be edited down into a TV show. And so they love AMSVI because what it allows them to do is to take all of this content that's being generated and then automatically use AMS-VI to create meta information so that where they can track the faces of the celebrities that are in a given shot. They can detect, through our shot detection technology, the individual shots. They can do transcription of the dialogue between the Big Brother cast, and then they can do searches against that dialogue, and it just allows them to accelerate a bunch of manual work in terms of searching through content. All that can be done AI assisted, and what it's doing for them, it's solving a productivity problem for them, and it's doing it today on our cloud platform. Now moving forward, what we see happening is we see that concept of VI and video and media, we see that going from the cloud all the way out to the edge, into control rooms for broadcasters, into the near set, let's say, for the studios, where AI can be used in proximity to where content is being generated to assist that part of the process as well. So even the production process can be assisted using AMS-VI. And we have a product called DataBox Edge, in fact. What it does is DataBox Edge is a fixed edge device. It's a 1U Microsoft branded device. Customers go to the Azure portal, they order it up, we ship it to them, they install it in their local environment, and they can immediately start routing video and audio content into this device. It acts as a storage gateway. As it's flowing into the device and then tiered into the cloud for archival purposes or editing in the cloud, AI can run against that video content and do things like do the scene detection, shot detection, even on the local device, and that helps speed up that whole end-to-end process. And that's something we're investing in pretty heavily as a platform that docks in very nicely with M&E, we believe.
Well, of course, one of the really interesting things that's going on with use of these kinds of tools has to do with sports production and live stuff, where there's archival material out there that references what somebody that just hit a home run has done at certain times, or compares them to somebody else that hit that same place in the stands with a home run 15 years ago.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so is your AI set up to be able to search and dig and bring up that stuff in a live production environment?
So I love that scenario. So in that scenario, it really fits with our vision for where all this is headed. Our vision is for broadcasters to be able to use our cloud for live media productions. And so this is broadcasters taking advantage of our global network infrastructure, our global compute network infrastructure, so that our WAN becomes their WAN in effect. And so you can imagine with technology like SRT and our partnership that we just announced at the show with Haivision, with SRT Hub and running that on our cloud, being able to take content in SRT form, run that into the cloud, have that be processed in the cloud, and then delivered reliably in real time with all the SLAs that are required for real-time video. And so imagine a sporting event that's being broadcast in this way.
Well, just let me interrupt for a second. SRT, of course, is the secure, reliable transport that Haivision has made an open source
for media content.
For media content to really have it light speed everywhere.
That's correct.
Yeah,
exactly. And so imagine taking that scenario where for a live sports production that's being transported and supplemented through AI, and then taking that content and then being able to compare that content with archival content. So going back and taking sports footage from over the decades, bringing that into the cloud, and then intersecting a live event with an event in an archive, and being able to do that with AI, that's really where all this is headed.
Yeah, that's magical
pretty
stuff.
Cool.
To make it a lot more interesting to watch a baseball game.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Well, Tad, thank you so much for taking us through this. It's just an amazing development.
Okay, awesome.
Really appreciate
Great to
it.
meet you, friend.